Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. And so we're here today with Zoe and Olga from our product team. And Zoe is a certified strength coach, and Olga, studio product marketing manager for Website Builder. So welcome to this webinar. And today we will showcase the process that we did together with Zoe to create her very own website for her coaching business. And soon she'll give a little intro about what she does and why she decided to have a website. And we're here with Olga as well, who will show us soon the features within Website Builder, especially a new feature. And so that's really, really exciting. And she will also go through a checklist to that people, we should all look at when publishing our websites. And then we'll also give a few marketing tips when it comes to best practices for optimizing your website. And so it's really exciting. We also want to hear from you. So where are you watching from? If you do have a business, what's the business about? Do you have a website? So please write in the comments because we're super curious and interested. But now I want to have Zoe here presenting and tell us a bit more about you and what do you do, Zoe, and why do you have a website?
Well, hello, and thank you for having me on here. I'm very excited because I know I'm going to learn loads personally as well as everybody else. But hello, everyone. My name's Zoe. I'm a certified strengths coach, and strengths coaching is simply about helping people to focus on what they naturally do well, the things that they're brilliant at, the things that they love doing, versus the things that they're not as good at. So with that in mind, I've got a question that I'd love Daniela and Olga to reflect on, consider, and everybody watching. Do you think you spend more of your time thinking about what you're good at, or do you focus on your weaknesses, the things that you need to improve? Perhaps you might compare yourself to others. I'll leave that with you to have a think and notice it. But look, if it's the latter, don't worry. Our brains are hardwired for negativity. It's a hard thing to do. However, if you can flip that, if you can reframe it, it feels brilliant. It's really been transformative for me. It's supercharged my confidence and performance. And that's why I'm so passionate about helping others to discover their strengths too, which is why I do what I do. My Clayton White coaching business it's a passion project. I actually have a full-time role. I work for a UK online retailer called The Very Group. I work in talent development, so I get to help people learn and grow every day. I coach and I facilitate. I've got a team that I love to help develop. But through my process of strengths, I realised that I just wanted to do more coaching. And my business happened by accident, really, through my accreditation process. During it, somebody asked me, would I be willing to coach somebody that they knew, that they thought could really do with some strength support? So it happened from there, really. I wasn't planning it, but I'm so delighted that I did, because through my work, I get to network, I get to meet loads of people. Like, I wouldn't have never met you guys without doing this. And that all plays to my strengths. It's really aligned to that. And I suppose that's what leads me on to today, really. You learn loads. I'm a year in, so I'm still new as a business owner, and especially because I'm not doing it full time, my learning trajectory is a bit slower, probably, than someone who's doing it full time. And I'm learning mainly about the importance of personal branding, and especially with something like coaching, where it's this personal service that you're providing, where that person needs to trust you. You need to come across as being really credible. Initially, I was focusing on local networking, and I do a lot on LinkedIn. But I've realised that really, to build true trust and credibility, I need a high quality website to help me do that, to help bring it all together, to show my certifications and all the things like that. But building and creating websites is not my strength. So that's why I was delighted to get support from One.com to help me get started.
Yeah, that's lovely to hear. It's lovely to hear, Zoe. That's a really good question you asked us as well. I'm trying to think about that. Yeah, it's a very deep question, I would say, but yeah, probably I think a lot about the negatives. I'll say that.
Reflect,
yes.
ponder on it, definitely.
Yeah. How about you, Olga? Jeff? How do you feel about that question? What do you think more about, positives and negatives?
I would like to say that I mainly focus on the things that I'm good at.
Yeah.
But I guess I have to admit that, a lot of the times I'm, a little bit maybe harsh on myself and, you fail here, you fail there, you need to improve here and there. But it does remind me of a friend that I have from South Korea. And I remember I was really surprised because when she was telling me about her kids, back when they were living back in South Korea. So what they do is in school, if you're good at math, they hire you a tutor in math. Here, like for most of us, if you're good at math, you're fine, right? Why do you need a tutor? So, but if you're not that great at English, for example, then this is where you get your tutor. And she said, no, the competition is so high that the chances of you getting grades at English all of a sudden are not that high. So we need to work on those skills that you already have and just make sure that you thrive even better. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. So
it makes a lot of sense.
It all makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
You need to twist your
way of thinking.
Reframe.
Because we are used to improving something where we are not that great at.
Yeah. That's super interesting, definitely. And we have here in the comments Cassandra from a Belgian photographer. Hi, nice to have you here today. And yes, as already said, please let us know where you guys from, and if you have a website and so on. We're really, really curious. Yes, so well, thank you so much, Zoe, for giving a brief presentation about yourself and what you do. And soon we'll also have a look, at the website and different parts of it. But first, Olga, you are going to show us some exciting things. So I'll leave the floor to you then.
All right. So my name is Olga. I'm a product manager and my team works on the website builder. So before we get to Zoe's website, I want to show you how quick and easy it is to create it. And then I will show a feature. So you will get a sneak peek into the feature that will be released in a couple of weeks. So it will go live soon, but you will be the first ones to see it. So in order to show it, I need to quickly create a website. So these are the steps that Zoe had to go through to get her first draft of the website. So let's start. So here you select the category of your website. So I'm going to, let's say I have a boat tour agency. We need to accept terms and conditions of OpenAI, and my business is online. So it's just several questions you need to answer throughout this guide, this stepper, and then you're done. And the name of my business is Viking Boats. Let's continue. And I want to mention that we have portable fridges and Wi-Fi on all boats. And continue. Address, this is not important, but if you have a physical business, you need to fill this out, but that's optional. And the language is English, so you can choose from any language that we support on our platform. And let's see what it's going to create first. So as you can see, it takes just several seconds and you have your first draft that you can work with. So all the texts are customized to whatever inputs I gave. So you can see Viking boats. Let's just scroll down to show you the design. So the site corresponds to the category that was selected. So all the sections, all the call to actions correspond to the industry that you chose. And here in this section, you can see that, yes, it used portable fridges and Wi-Fi for your convenience. We did use our inputs. And then you have some testimonials here and context section, of course. You can also customize the colors. So these are recommended, but then you can choose from any other palette and also use your own custom colors if that's relevant for you. So this is how it looks like. You can always go back and fix something and add details if you want, or you can change the category. But let's create a website. I'm happy with this draft. So here it is. You now have an editable version of your website. We are inside the website builder. And here you can edit anything. You can replace all the images. You can tweak the texts. You can add new sections, new widgets, all you want. But this draft is already pretty good because it's customized to my inputs. But let's get to the feature I want to show you. So those that have already worked with Website Builder, you probably know that we have writing assistant that writes texts for you. And at the moment, it only creates texts from scratch, so only new texts. What we are adding in 2 weeks is the ability to work with the text that already exists, because that's very convenient. So for example, let me show you, help me write. So you have 2 options now. So you can either write new, then the text that you selected will be replaced with your new copy, or you can modify it. So this option is new. Let's look at it. So once you open it, it copies the text where you click the button, and you have several options here. So these are just quick suggestions. So you can make it longer, you can make it shorter, or you can rewrite. So basically, it will just give you another version of the same thing. Or you can add your custom instruction. Let's look at all of them. So for example, I decide, no, this is too long. Let's make it maybe shorter a bit. Discover Viking ships. And when I use it, it keeps the styles, as you can see here. And here we go. I have a different title. No, as you can see, I cannot make it any shorter because it's already 3 words. But then maybe I change my mind. No, actually, let's make it longer again. Explore the fascinating Viking ships. Okay, that works. I will use it. So here's the 2 buttons, and the third one will just rewrite, keeping the same, the same idea. Now the other part about the custom instruction. So let's scroll to this section, feature destination, Dubrovnik, Croatia. But actually, I would like to be talking about Bornholm, Denmark. So as you can see, everything adjusts automatically, all the spaces. So let's ask it to write about Bornholm. Talk about Bornholm, Denmark. Use the text. Let's see what it wrote. Yeah. Landscapes, idyllic scenery. Maybe I'm not entirely happy with that. Maybe I want to say mention Bornholm's sightseeing. Yes, and now you can see that the cliffs are mentioned, right? Local dishes. Yeah, so it's more customized to the place that you want to talk about. Basically, any instruction. So you can change the style, for example. You can say, my audience is families with children. Another good thing about it, typos are totally fine because AI will still understand what you mean. That's very handy. It saves a lot of time. So in this text, let me read. Yeah, an ideal setting for families seeking an enchanting blend of exploration and relaxation. And maybe we want to make it shorter. Use text. So this is the feature I wanted to show you. I think it will come really handy because most of the time you already have texts on your website and you just need some help maybe and some inspiration. So a little bit of instruction and you get the text that you can work with, or if you're happy with it, you just keep it as is. So the texts are always unique.
Yeah. No, that's nice. And Zoe, that's something you've used, right? You've tried out the writing assistant.
Yeah, no, I've tried it out. I mean, I'm okay at writing copy and getting things started and everything like that. But sometimes if you want to really refine something, if you want something to be a bit more concise so it looks better or cleaner in terms of your layout. What I love about what Olga's just demonstrated is the fact that it'll keep the design in the same place as well. Because if you think about, it's not just about setting up your website in that original creation, it's like, how can you keep iterating and making improvements or adding in a new service or something like that? And the thought of, I've got to edit the whole thing and it's going to take longer to do it, it just makes that process a lot simpler, which is great.
Yeah.
If you just saw what I did here, so I had some typos here and I just asked it to correct my typos, my errors. There it is.
Oh, wow.
Correct it.
Yeah.
So it all depends on the instruction. So the more precise your instruction is, the better the output.
Yeah.
So, I find it very handy. So like I said, at the moment, we only have the version that creates new text from scratch. But in 2 weeks, it will be available for everyone, for all tiers in our website builder, including the free trial. So I hope our users like it and use it.
Yeah. Cool. It's really nice. Yes.
And so this is a good tool to work with your content on your website. And then, I don't know, shall we move on to the checklist?
Yes.
You think,
Right.
Daniela?
Yes.
So once you're done with your website and you think that you're ready to publish, you need to go through the list of things to review. And even if you have already published, it's still good to go through it and make sure that everything is in order. So I think you will all find it helpful. So the first thing to look at is your contact information, right? So you before you publish, you need to make sure that your visitors find you and that they can reach you. So all the emails, all the phone numbers, you need to make sure that there are no errors there. And one more thing that I want to highlight is that if you have a contact form on your website, make sure that the email is added there, because it is possible to publish it without any emails. And what will happen in that case is that users will be sending, your visitors will be sending you messages, but you will not be receiving them. So make sure that the email is added and saved in that contact form. And then, of course, if you are a physical business, we do have this Google Map widget that really helps visitors to find you easily. So do use that if relevant. Also opening hours for those that are maybe shops, right? Or where it makes sense. We do have that as well. So make sure you customize the hours, because when you add them, there are some default values that need to be changed. So yeah, make sure that information is correct. Then the second item, which is super important, that is, of course, a search engine optimization, because when we're talking websites, it's all about our visitors finding us on the internet. And Daniela will talk about it in depth. I will just mention that we do have settings such as titles and meta descriptions for pages, and you can find them in page settings or on your dashboard in a dedicated section called SEO. But it's also about alt text for images. So when you click an image, you can open its settings, and there is an SEO section as well where you can add that. So why this is needed? This is because sometimes when the image is not loaded, you will see the text explaining what it is. And of course, Google prefers those images and it ranks them higher. And this is what we want. So next thing, the actual content. So regardless of how you created your website with our AI tool, or maybe you just used a template, or maybe you built it from scratch, but it's especially important when you used one of the templates, you need to make sure that you customized all the texts, because there would be texts everywhere in every section. So you need to make sure that this is the content you want to have on your website. And replace the images. It's really, nice images from photo stocks, of course, really nice. But if you're a business, people would really prefer to see something real. Like if this is something you sell or something you do, your service, it would be nice to post some images of your work, the office or your session of your clients, because then it creates a feeling of, okay, this is the real thing, right? This is not some sort of photo stock that is, can be anything. So this is the real business. I'm gonna try it. Then, of course, there are things like grammar and spelling. We do have spell check in our website builder, but basically it just allows your browser to use the spell check that's in line there. So make sure you have spell check enabled in your browser, and then it will highlight all the things that it doesn't like in red, so all the errors. So you can maybe show your website to a friend or use services, but make sure that the content is updated and you're happy with it. Then next thing is about branding. So if you have a logo, then please do not forget to add it, because we do not provide this option throughout the onboarding, just to streamline the process. And besides, not everyone has it. But if you do, it's really nice for your site's brand to have it. So just upload it in the header. And another thing is favicon. It's this little preview, kind of like a little logo that you see in the tab, in each tab in your browser. So it just creates a more professional look of your website, and it's easy to do. You can just upload this favicon on the dashboard. I think it's general settings, it's called. Yeah. Next slide.
Can I just ask, actually, Olga, is it, you might come on to this later, Daniela, but in terms of having a logo, does that help as well in terms of Google search? Because that's unique to you. Does that help at all? As well as obviously looking like your own website, but does it help in other ways as well?
I haven't heard of this actually doing anything in terms of rankings, but it does help for the actual humans, right? Not for the robots, because when the visitors get to your website and see your logo, maybe they saw this logo somewhere. So I know you have a YouTube channel, right? So maybe they saw it there. So there's some recognition of the brand. So it's important.
Brand recall and awareness, that it helps from that perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know, maybe Daniela has information that it's important for search engine optimization. I don't have the data. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think in general with images, because also logos, when you upload them, can be images. So it's good to name them something that also will be relevant for Google. Okay. So that Google can read the images, and it can help with SEO as well. But in general, it's good for brand identity, right? And
in general, when somebody Googles your name, the name of your business, you want them to find your logo in images, in Google Images, right? So it's a good idea to name it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. And we have one more slide here. So CTAs, calls to action. So you spend a lot of time on your website, right? So make sure that you guide your visitors throughout the website, that you do not just only have text there and maybe just some contact information. So make sure you add some buttons here and there that guide them throughout the website and kind of tell them what you want them to do. So some examples could be, sign up, register, contact me, ask me why. It depends, right? If you're a shop, then probably view the catalog or read more. Because, for example, with the buttons, you can also have a file there. So in buttons settings, you can link it to a file. So if you call it, download specifications or something like that, they will just download the file. So there are many things you can do with that, but make sure that you have the CTAs, that you do not leave your visitors there just wandering around, not really knowing what to do. You need to guide them. So so you have all those buttons and your texts and maybe links and something else. Most of the time, one or two or some of them will be broken, right? So sometimes, because we edit it so many times, right? We change things. Sometimes we forget to update the link or settings or something. So make sure that all your buttons actually do something, that there is a link, that the link is live, that it doesn't lead to some 404 page or something like that, that it scrolls. So for example, if you have a button that scrolls you to a concrete section, make sure that it works. Because all of this is important, because we need our visitors to stay on the website. Another thing is mobile version. So of course, mobile comes first, right? Most of us use our phones for initial browsing. So people will be reaching you from their mobiles. So you need to make sure that your website looks good on mobile as well. And we do have two modes in the website builder. So one is for desktop and one is for mobile. And if something doesn't look great in mobile, you can actually adjust it separately from the desktop version. For example, something gets too crowded, right? Just remove some of the elements, remove some of the images, for example. You can change the layout so that it looks better for this small screen, specifically for mobile. Those changes will not affect your desktop version. So they're separate. So this is nice to check before you actually publish, because many of your visitors will come from their mobiles. Then one more thing, it's rather recent, right? Has to do with legislation, cookie compliance. So I guess it addresses all of us here in this room. If your website receives visitors from anywhere inside the European Union, you have to have a cookie banner if you have any third-party widgets. What's a third-party widget? Is, I don't know, something like a YouTube video, for example. That's a third-party widget, because they will be recording your data. So if someone wants to opt out of this, they need to have the possibility to do so. So this is more of a requirement. If your website doesn't have any third-party widgets, then you don't have to. But it's always safe to just have it in case. And we have just released our new cookie banner with the Termly, and it's compliant with all the laws, and it's an improvement compared to what we had before. Then next one is analytics. So you have this website, then of course you want to know what happens to your visitors. So make sure that the analytics switch, it's a switch on your dashboard, make sure that it's enabled. Because if it's not enabled, you will not know what's happening, how many page views you have, what pages are more popular than others. and things like that. So make sure it's enabled. So everything will be done automatically. You just need to see that it's active. And I have one more item on my list. This is relevant to those that have business and e-commerce tier. But if you do have this tier, then and you're a business, then it's a very good idea to connect your Google Business account and link it, because then your website will be displayed in many like special listings that Google has in your area. So it will be very easy for to find you locally. So when someone browses for I don't know, a Chinese restaurant, and you have your Google Business connected, it will be easier. So you will be prioritized in the search results compared to others that were not. So yes, this is this sanity check that I think makes sense to do before you publish. But even if you already published, still go through it if there is anything you forgot about, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, that was really nice tips, Olga. And we also want to know if you guys are watching, if this checklist is something that you have followed as well, or if it's some stuff is new for you. And also, Zoe, how do you feel about this checklist? Is it stuff that you took into consideration, or?
There's lots for me to check, is what I've learnt. No, it's really useful actually, and it's just, again, it's best practice. I think I've got my mum and dad to check my website so far. My dad is a good proofreader, but I think even just sharing it with people, or when you do hit publish, getting people to look at it and highlight stuff. And I think don't be ashamed if people do pick up typos or mistakes and things like that. It's really easy, isn't it, to edit it, and you prefer somebody to tell you about something that's not working, rather than, let's face it, we're all here, aren't we, to convert our customers and help our businesses to grow and thrive. So the only way we can do that is customers can find our website, then they can actually do something about it, on that, get the information that they need, and then take an action. So this is important for all of us to be following. And I think probably, would you recommend checking these things probably, like, I don't know, once a month, or there's some kind of regularity, isn't there? Don't assume that everything's always okay. Things might change.
Well, some of it you only need to do once, right? Like cookie compliance, for example, it doesn't change. It's just, you just enable it and it's there, or analytics. But if you make any changes on your website, like adding new elements or removing something, adding sections, then of course you need to make sure that it still looks good on the mobile, for example, right? So it depends on what you change on your website. Or if you change links, then it's the same, right?
Yeah. I particularly like the analytics, and I didn't realize you can have almost like a desktop and a mobile version. So I use mobile primarily, but it'll be interesting to see whether the people that are coming, are they mainly mobile first, and therefore you naturally spend more time, wouldn't you, on that? If proportionately there's more people doing that, well, I'm going to spend more time making sure the mobile website is optimized and as effective as possible. So loads of stuff for me to think about, which is great.
Nice. Yeah, and now we will go through some more marketing tips. So many stuff Olga mentioned. So we're just going to look at it more in depth. So this is relevant for anyone who's building a website, who has a website, because these great things to think about. I divided it in a few sections. So the first one, first of all, here's your website, Zoe, and I really like it. And I took this picture so we can really kind of see what the tips relates to. So it's also more illustrated. But I really liked your website. I think you did a really, really nice job. And I love the colors, love the logo as well. Really, really nice.
Thank you.
Very, very professional. So I think it's really nice. And when it comes to call to actions, also visitors landing on your website, I would say you have to think about, there could be people that maybe are interested in coaching, but maybe have no idea about what coaching is about. The question you asked us today, I feel like No, it was a question I've been asked before, so it's always something new that people can learn about, right? So I feel like when someone maybe lands on your website as it is now, it's not maybe 100% clear what type of coaching you do, or that you do coaching. But I would say this is a very easy fix, and this applies to many other scenarios. Here, it would, if you add literally coaching that supercharges your confidence and performance, you're already giving a much clearer idea to people maybe who have no clue about this. Oh, okay,
Right.
this is,
Yeah.
right. So I think if adding one word can make really a difference if people are, a bit interested in this. What do you think? Do you think?
Oh, no, really, really good advice. You spend so much in your own world, don't you? You think that you're banging on about that thing, all the time, but actually you do need to keep reminding people what it is, because that's going to help with recall, isn't it? And that's going to help. Again, it's just that clarity. So yeah, no, that's really good advice. Thank you.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I mean, that's true for anyone. I think that whenever we work in a field and you learn more and more, sometimes you forget, maybe people have no idea, about what this is
Imagine
about.
nobody knows anything about you and what you do.
Yeah.
How do you tell them in one line? How do you tell them in one sentence? Yeah.
It's tough, exactly. Yeah. And then I would say, in terms of the button, so the call to action, I would say call to action are very, very important, right? To get people to take the action you want them to take. So in this case, I would say, this call to action should be a bit more action oriented, right?
Okay.
So you have to require them to do something. So that could be book a session, or contact me, just so conversions can also increase, because people then know what to do, know what to expect also when they click on the button. So just a little tweak can really make a difference to get new customers, or sessions booked with you. So that's something really good to keep in mind.
So it's more like a harder call to action, or harder verb, action orientated verb. Like discovery is almost like a bit maybe have a look, maybe not, but actually we want them to click on that button, don't we?
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's a really good thing to keep in mind. And then moving on to the next, here it's about unique selling proposition, so the services you offer, right? So I really like the way you structure it. I think it's really, really nice. I love the illustrations, and I also like the first service, one-on-one strength coaching. I think in terms of structure, it's very clear what you offer there. So that really well done with that one. The only thing I would say here in terms of recommendation, again, from a marketing perspective, to get people to take the action you want them to, would be to maybe make a bit more clear the unique selling proposition 2 and 3. So because I feel like there are, maybe if I read it, I don't really fully have an idea if it's in individual sessions, group sessions, remotely, or in person, and these things can make a difference, right? If someone is looking for a coach in their local area or online. So I think making those tweaks again can help you, and that's why I wanted to ask you: is it remote, is it online, locally, or
both? But obviously in terms of I wouldn't want to restrict myself. Most of my market is going to be virtual, so actually it makes sense in terms of what I was saying before. If say more people are visiting the website using mobile, I'll make sure I'm mobile first. The opportunities for me to coach are going to be remote, virtual first, so actually I should lead with that as my as my key point. So I'll definitely take that on board.
But other than that, I think you did an incredible job. And I mean, it's your first website, right, that you built. So of course, there's going to be a lot of things that it's hard to think everything at once. 100%.
Brilliant.
And again, here, just in terms of the call to action, I would make it more, action oriented. Okay, book a session or contact me. So people maybe get convinced by the service and they want to book, so they know where to go immediately and what to do, right? So increase conversion. And the next one is more about SEO. So I don't know how many of you who are watching are familiar with SEO. Is this something you guys work closely with, or is something you don't really work with? And let us know. We're curious. And how about you, Zoe? Are you familiar with SEO?
So I know my simple version. I know it's the spiders that go out and make your website visible, but I'm not clear on what are like, what's best practice in terms of when you're writing the types of things, especially for me as a strengths coach.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's even I'm not an expert in it. I have a few tips, but of course it's it's a big field. But yeah, just for those of you who are not super familiar with it, SEO, or in other words, search engine optimization, helps your website show higher in search results when people look for things online. And this is very simply put. I know it's much more complicated than that. In fact, we have Richard that said SEO is a whole world to understand. Absolutely, Richard. I agree with you. So, yes. But SEO mainly involves three main parts, which is keywords. So, of course, it's important to have the right keywords on your website so that Google also and search engines understand what you do, right? Because ultimately you want to rank higher. Mm-hmm. And content is linked to that, because in your content, you can include keywords, right? That could be a blog or a services description and so on. And then links is also a part of it. And an example of this is backlinks. So the more other websites link to you, those are called backlinks, the more Google think you're a trustworthy website. So it's good when people, write in their blog a review about your business and, link to it, because that helps you in terms of ranking.
That's why people write blogs.
That's why people write blogs. Probably. Yeah. No, but it's really good. Yes. Okay. So in terms of the first tip is to get a Google business profile. You can get it for free. And why should you do this? I know it's good to do it if you have a local business, but I think also if you're a remote business, there are some advantages there you can gain from it. So first of all, you would appear in local searches. So that's also why restaurants get it and so on, as Olga mentioned. So it helps local customers find you easily. But then you can also showcase your services, even before people have gone on your website. So that's why it's good to have it. So you can display what you offer with photos and details. And as you can see in the example, in the picture down, maybe it's a bit small, but you can also build trust because people can already see reviews there, Google reviews. So that, can boost your reputation. So that's a big advantage there. Then you can also showcase contact information. So people, you can make it easy for your clients to reach out to you. And that can be phone number and also opening hours. And let's say you're a remote business. It can be good to have opening hours because then people know when to contact you, right? So they don't contact you maybe when you're not working, and so to speak. And it is free advertising. So you can increase your online presence without any cost. So essentially is a really good thing to do. And we have a question from Cassandra. How do I choose the keywords that are best for my business? So Cassandra is a really good question. Yes, so there are different tools out there that you can use to do keyword research. And we actually have a YouTube video dedicated to this, how to do keyword research. So we can leave you the link in the chat. But yeah, you can use different tools that could be Ahrefs. I think there's also SEMrush. But of course, you need a strategy. So I would recommend watching the video because it's quite long. And so it's quite good to watch. But yeah, so Google Business Profile. Zoe, if you want one, it's really good to get.
Yeah. No, that never even crossed my mind to do that. So it's interesting when Olga mentioned it on the checklist, and it's interesting because I will use that, and I will, especially when you see reviews on it as well, immediately it helps to give you trust and credibility even before you click on that. When you see that because let's face it, there's dodgy websites out there as well, aren't there? So you want to make sure that you're going through to something that is good quality.
Exactly. 100%. So it's really good. Now the next tip is related to the term coaching. So I think we're going back a bit to describing what you do to an audience who maybe has no clue, right? So for Google, so this more technical, coaching is a very broad term for search engine because, it could be a basketball coach. It could be a football coach. So there's so many type of coaches, right?
Yeah.
So it can be hard to generate traffic on the general term coaching because people, are more likely to look for life coach or personal coach. So they often, when we Google stuff, we're more specific, right, in our queries.
Yeah.
So a tip here could be to try to narrow down the term coaching on your website. So to really, make a niche. So like, what is your coaching?
Oh, so like strengths-based coaching, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that it's more specific and it's easier also to rank for because it's less competition as well.
Right.
Yeah. So a good example here, if we go back to the one I included before, here, this person says, I'm a certified life coach with the 6 years in business. You can already see the reviews as well. So here we already have a picture before even going on the website. We already know, okay, maybe, I might go for this one because it seems super, good reviews and so on. So you can see it's much more specific there, the type of coaching. So
even
that's something.
Sorry, I was going to say it's interesting seeing the word certified used. So I can use the Gallup certified strengths coach because let's face it, there'll be loads of people on TikTok and stuff like that call themselves a life coach, for example, and they don't necessarily have the accreditations and certifications for that. But it's like you say, it's a broad term, and therefore it's easy for people to call themselves that.
Exactly. And with the certified already, you have one more merit. People are like, okay, you're certified.
Yeah.
I might go for you. So that's really, really good point. Yes. So moving on, the next tip is, this is something Olga mentioned, and it's a feature that we offer in Website Builder. So something you can do there is to customize your page title and have a description so Google understands what your business is about. I'm going to show you how you can do that on Website Builder. So you go on your dashboard, and then you select SEO. And then here it will take you to this page where you can see it's a bit small maybe, but it's basically the third option is page title in search result. And usually it might be, it might be allowed to use the full website title. So I would suggest to remove that functionality so you have personal control over what your page title is and description, so you can write it yourself. And on the right, you can see here a preview in the search results. So in the preview, this is how people, again, someone has no idea maybe about who you are, what coaching is, this is what they would see. So a good tip here would be to, when thinking of a title and description for your page, just think what would sell best. What would convince someone who has no idea, to click on my website and, have a look. And that could be saying, certified strength coach, or, you have to think a bit outside the box. Okay, what can I say that can convince people? This is a bit more technical, I would say. But what do you think about this? Is this something you've encountered before? Is it completely new to you?
It's all completely new to me, so it's really, really useful. It just made me think that, can you as part of like the analytics, can that tell you whether or not the terms that you're using are how good they are? Because almost if you can use some of the analytics to prompt you as to, that's not working as hard as it could do. So actually I need to, even if it's like, let's get a sample of people and say, what would you prefer to click on, or what do you think describes my services best?
Yeah. So I would say a really good tool, and Olga, you can also jump in here. So it's our Website Builder's SEO scan.
Okay.
Yes. So here, our SEO scan is really good because you can get your SEO score. So it can tell you how good your SEO is. And we scan your website and provide you with the score, and you can get an idea. And then also, once it's published through our SEO scan, the scan still monitors your SEO performance. So it regularly scans and gives you an update. Then this one, though, you have to get the third feature. I think you have to, if I'm not wrong, Olga, you have to upgrade to business and e-commerce. But we also offer the feature to help improve your score. So there's more detailed scans, and also we give you more detailed actions that you can take to actually improve your SEO scan. So we have this tool. It's really good. But yeah, there are also other keyword research tools out there that you can use, of course. But I would say this SEO scan is really, really handy, especially if you're not very familiar with SEO, worked with it, and you kind of need a quick solution.
Brilliant. That's great to know.
Yeah.
I just want to add a comment about the descriptions. So what happens if you leave your descriptions empty? They are not actually empty because Google will create it for you.
Yeah.
Automatically. But the thing is, you have no control over it, right? So it will just scan the contents of your web page and do some summary. The thing is, you're not sure that this is how you want to be presented. So that's why it's, of course, preferred that you do it yourself.
Yeah.
Take control.
Because, it will put something there anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is a really good feature in Website Builder, and it's pretty easy to change it. So it's really, really nice. Yeah, so we covered the SEO scan. So that was a really good question, Zoe.
Not planned either.
Yeah. So yeah, and then if we move on to the next, I think we'll start running out of time a little bit. So yeah, it's really important, as Olga said, to monitor analytics related to your website. And we do have in Website Builder our analytics, so you can monitor, all things. So like, the demographics and so on. And we also have a companion app. So you can also get an app that we offer.
Oh, that's cool.
Where you can get statistics related to your website, and that's visitors, average time spent, mobile view versus desktop, what you were saying, Zoe. So it's really good, and top countries as well. So these are all really important things to monitor. It's also to know, okay, what changes should I make, and so on. So it's a good thing to test out the companion app, I would say.
Definitely.
Yeah, and of course, then one can also monitor analytics on Google. Analytics is a bit more complicated, but it also has more functionalities. And you can link your website, even if you did it through Website Builder, through Google Analytics. And there are quite a few guides that are really helpful that you can find out there. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit more complex, but if you take the time, and learn it, there's a lot of things you can get out of it. Yeah, have you tried it out, Zoe? No, probably.
No. I must admit that's just like, that feels like it's getting complicated for me. I think what's the overriding summary is if you do like the best practice stuff, like the things on the checklist, and just make sure all of the fields are completed, and you've got text for your images and things like that, the basics, the foundations, that's going to put you in a much better position than not doing any of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it? But if you do want to go further and go deeper, there's tons of other brilliant stuff that you can do as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's so much one can do. But yeah. And then, of course, I don't know if this is something you've tried out, Zoe, yet, but having a professional email is really, really good. And that's something you can get with us as well. So you can have, for example, info at, and then your domain.
Okay.
So that's really good because, of course, it enhances credibility. It shows clients and customers that you are a serious and trustworthy brand or business. And I mean, I think we all went through that process, right? When we get dodgy emails, we always look at, okay, who sent it? So this is a really good thing to get. I mean, it's there. Why not? And yeah, it offers brand consistency. So it reinforces your brand identity. And also it gives a professional first impression. And yeah, so is that something you tried, Zoe, or not yet?
Not yet. I've put in my my Yahoo one that I originally set up. Would you recommend having the info at, and even if you just have one that's dedicated to your website versus a generic one, what would be a recommendation?
Yeah, I would say info at and then your domain. To me, it's very professional. If I think it looks also really good as an email, so I would say that's a good way to go. Yeah, so that's really nice. And then I think we're at the last point, the power of customer testimonials and reviews. We all know that. And in fact, you do have reviews on your website. So that's really, really nice. I think, as we all know, builds trust, increase conversions. Because when we want to buy something, I'm pretty sure we're all going to go out there and see, okay, has someone else tried this product? What are the reviews? Is it good? And so on. So that's really good to have. And yeah, I mean, it's also good for SEO because fresh, relevant content from testimonials can improve the rankings, and social proof. So people know, okay, you're a real business. You've offered services before. Yeah, and you can also include Google reviews on your website, right, Olga?
Yes.
Ah.
It's available for business and e-commerce here.
Yeah,
those have, of course, more credibility because it's not something you can just edit on your website.
Yeah, exactly, which is why I think it goes back to that point of setting up that free Google business account and then going out to previous clients and asking, would they mind doing a Google review for you, which I know people have done for me before, and I've done it. So yeah, I'm definitely going to do that.
Yeah. So these are really good tip. But yeah, other than that was my tips. So yeah, I don't know how useful they were for also you watching. If this is tips that you already knew and that you already put into practice, you can also let us know. We're interested. But yeah, Zoe, I understand these were maybe useful to you, right?
Super useful. Yeah, like I said, I've got no experience of doing this. And whilst it was, in terms of like building it, I found the dashboard really easy, super intuitive, really easy to edit. I just don't have any experience of all of those different tips. So I'm definitely going to watch the webinar back. Whilst in parallel with making these changes on Website Builder, because there's loads of stuff for me to consider, not just now, but I think for just continuing just to keep my website in good health when I do finally press that publish button.
Yeah, exactly. Those are tips that are relevant anytime, because we can make changes to the website, but also it's just good to constantly improve it and kind of take care of it in that sense. But yeah. I don't know if there are any questions, because we also have our team helping us out in the chat, so that's really nice. So I mean, we can also answer a question later on in the comments. But other than that, these were my tips. I don't know if Olga, you have anything else to add, or that was it from you as well?
Well, I just want to mention that Zoe is exactly our target audience. So we know that most of our users are not technically savvy because we have other things going on in our lives. That's completely understandable. So our focus is always on making it easy and making a lot of it run in the back end somewhere. So for example, we do many things in the background, right? For search engine optimization, you just don't see it, just do it for you. And when we plan our new features, we try to make it as simple as possible, because we do understand that people do not have time for this learning curve. So it has to be as easy as possible. So that's always our main focus. But I'm happy you managed to build a very nice website. I hope it will boost your business.
So do I.
It's really nice. And as you said, Olga, many of our customers are beginners, and so it can be also overwhelming and hard at first, but our website builder is very intuitive. And we also have many tutorials on our YouTube channel, and we're constantly working on delivering videos that can help you throughout your online journey. So make sure to follow us on YouTube and also on our social media, because we post tips and content that can help you out. But that was it from us. And thank you so much for watching. We'll make sure to also go through the question and try to answer them in the chat with our team. But thank you so much for watching. We look forward to seeing you in the next webinar. And thank you, Zoe, for
thank you.
Sharing your experience with us.
I've learned loads. So I've got no doubt everybody watching has learned lots too. But thank you.
Thank you so much. And good luck with your business.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone. See you in the next one.
Thanks.
Bye.
See you.